Good afternoon. We're back with more Marvel Champions, and today will be a hero spotlight for Captain Marvel. Be using a Mighty Avengers deck today for Captain Marvel. I struggled to beat Rhino on Heroic 1 with a standard Captain Marvel deck, Leadership or Aggression, but I was able to get over the hump with the Mighty Avengers deck. We're not going to be playing against Rhino today. Be playing against Ultron on expert difficulty, Ultron being a scenario which I would consider roughly equivalent in difficulty to Rhino on Heroic 1, being Ultron on expert difficulty, not Ultron on Heroic 1, which is much more difficult. So we'll try Captain Marvel out against this scenario and see how she does, and then we'll talk a little bit about Captain Marvel in general as we go along. One thing that the standard Captain Marvel deck can do that the Mighty Avengers version cannot do is Beast Recursion. Beast can be used to grab energy absorption, and then if you rapid response or make the call Beast, you can grab energy absorption repeatedly, which is a very strong play. Nonetheless, I think that Mighty Avengers is stronger with Captain Marvel. It's been a while since I played Ultron. So we start out with a drone. Let's get a hand. Don't really need crisis interdictions. And I don't know that I need Captain Marvel's helmet either, but I'll keep it. Got Hawkeye, that's very good. So, to start, we'll use Carol Danvers' alter ego ability. Choose a player to draw a card. Energy absorption, that's a good draw. And we'll get out Hawkeye right away. And we'll get out Energy Channel. And I'm thinking Squirrel Girl as well. Hanging on to Quinjet. So Squirrel Girl deals 1 damage to the drone, deals 1 damage to Ultron. Can flip to the Captain Marvel side. And I think I'll just discard Quinjet and place 1 counter on Energy Channel, and then we'll deal some damage to Ultron. So one of the issues with Captain Marvel, in fact her central issue, is resource generation. I mentioned Beast Recursion, which is a decent way to generate an extra resource from time to time, or make a strong play where you can basically get Beast out for 1 cost. But otherwise, Captain Marvel struggles to generate resources when she's not in her alter ego form. In alter ego, she can draw a card each round and make use of Alpha Flight Station, but outside of alter ego, she struggles to generate resources, and so really the strategies that are available to her are more rushdown strategies. For Ultron's turn, we've got a threat, and we've got an Ultron attack with a drone coming into play, which will be sniped by Hawkeye, and the attack will go on Squirrel Girl. Choose to either spend a resource or play a drone. We'll play a drone, and that drone will be sniped by Hawkeye immediately. And then we got 1 encounter card coming in. Concussive Blast, 1 damage to each friendly character. Okay. Well, let's get out the rapid response for sure. And let's use United We Stand and heal a damage. I'm actually wondering about using Photonic Blast here. Let's say go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think I like that a little better. So let's go 1, 2, 3 for Photonic Blast and deal 5 damage. So we'll just leave Hawkeye at 2 wounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and draw a card. Then we'll use these 2 cards to play Rapid Response. I think I like that a little better. And then deal 2 damage to Ultron and draw 5. There's Mighty Avengers. So 1 threat, 1 attack. That's going to be a drone, which Hawkeye snipes. And the attack will go on Hawkeye. And we'll Rapid Response him back in. And then we got 1 encounter card, which will be Android Efficiency. That's going to be a drone, which Hawkeye will snipe. Another Rapid Response. Okay. We got our 3rd one here. So they were all in the top part of the deck. On to the player turn. Let's go. Let's see. Captain America would cost 4. Mighty Avengers, I think, has to be the priority, though. So let's go 1, 2, 3 for Mighty Avengers. I'm going to hang on to 2 cards this round. It's usually bad. But these are such good cards in this context that I'm going to do it. So 1 threat, 1 attack from Ultron, 1 more drone sniped. And this attack will go on Captain Marvel. We'll just face tank for 4. And then 1 encounter card, which will be Ultron's Imperative. That's going to be 2 drones, which Hawkeye will snipe. And then for the player phase, we'll go Energy Channel Cosmic for Rapid Response. Thwart for 2 with the Mighty Avengers buff. I'm going to spend Team Training instead. And then discard Cosmic Flight for an Energy Channel counter. Deal 2 damage and draw 4. So 1 threat, Ultron drone, which we don't have an answer for, and the attack on Hawkeye. Deal 1 damage to each character you control. So that's going to make the attack undefended. And also means I can't Rapid Response. No, I can Rapid Response. After an ally you control is defeated. Yeah, so that's fine. Doesn't have to be defeated by an attack. That's regroup I was thinking of. So Hawkeye will be defeated. And we'll bring him back. And Captain Marvel takes a damage as well, but the attack will be undefended for 3. And then the drone attacks for 1. And we'll have 1 encounter card, which is a swarm attack. Each drone engaged with your hero attacks 1 more damage. So Ultron has how much on phase 3? 24, I think. We have a lot of burst. Could go 3 for Photonic Blast. Probably gonna have to flip to Alter Ego here. It's risky to stay. How do I want to do this? I think I want to get Captain America into play here. So we can go 3, 4 for Captain America. If I do that, though, I don't really have another good play. Photonic Blast would draw a card. Then I'd have 1, 2, and I could draw one with Alter Ego. That'd be 3. No. Interesting. Well, I think Captain America is likely my best play. So let's go 4 for Captain America. And we'll flip to Alter Ego, draw a card. No lightning resources, that's sad. Heal for 4. Thwart for 2. And we'll just go ahead and get rid of this drone as well. And I'm going to discard all of these and draw 6. It's going to be an extra encounter card. So 1 threat, we're going to be advancing to phase 2 here. 1 scheme. It's going to advance. That means a drone, which Hawkeye snipes. And 2 encounter cards. Advance for 3. And advanced Ultron drone, which Hawkeye will take a shot at. So let's go ahead and heal for 4 again. Draw a card. And we can flip. Can use Captain America to take care of the drone. And that brings in another drone, which Hawkeye snipes. Can go United We Stand for 3 or for 2 healing. Actually, let's reverse this order. Let's go. So let's United We Stand and have Hawkeye take out the drone. Then just heal for 2. 1 off of Hawkeye, 1 off of Captain Marvel instead of Hawkeye and Captain America. Because this way I can go 1, 2, 3 for Photonic Blast. Deal 5 damage. And draw a card. And then Captain America for 3, thanks to Mighty Avengers, drops Ultron into phase 2. Then I can play Kalu. Look for an event. Photonic Blast. I'll grab Crisis Interdiction because I want to discard it. And then 2 threat. So this requires 2 drones to come into play. First one gets sniped. The second one makes it through. And then Kalu can thwart for 2 and take on Ultron's Imperative. And we'll discard Crisis Interdiction for 1 energy counter. And then we'll draw 5. 27 HP is what Ultron had. So 1 threat. And then we'll bring in a drone, I think. Or maybe I want to take the 2 threat for now. I'll take the 2 threat this time. I can thwart pretty effectively with Mighty Avengers. And Ultron will attack. He doesn't get a drone when he attacks anymore. But he can't take damage while a drone is in play. Drone will attack for 1. And then we got 1 encounter card coming, which is Vibranium Armor. After the villain takes damage, give it a tough status card. Okay. So I don't have 2 strength resources to discard to get rid of that. let's go 1, 2, 3 for Photonic Blast, deal 5 damage, and draw a card. Now he gets a toughness. We can go Hawkeye and take out the drone. I had to do that first, actually, otherwise I can't damage Ultron because of his game text. And Hawkeye does attack for 2, so he can deal with the 2 HP. I'll have Captain Marvel remove the toughness. And let's go 1, 2, 3 for Spider-Woman and get a confuse on the villain. Three damage, add a toughness, and then we'll thwart for 3 with Spider-Woman. And I'm going to flip to Alter Ego here. Draw a card. Now, if it was a lightning resource, I would have discarded it for Energy Channel. As it is, I think I'm going to keep Giant Man, actually, and just draw 5 more. So 1 threat, and I'll place 2 threat rather than take a drone. No. Yeah, I will. Then we'll remove the confuse. And 1 encounter card, which will be Concussion Blasters. Villain gains Retaliate 1. So Ultron's ramping up. We'll draw a card with Captain Marvel. And we'll spend the 2 lightning resources to get rid of the Retaliate. Let's attack, remove the toughness. That's going to take your Retaliate damage. Let's attack for 3. Now, let's get rid of Team Training and Falcon and exhaust Captain Marvel to get rid of the Vibranium armor. And we'll use Spider-Woman to get rid of the toughness and retire her. 1, 2, 3 for White Tiger and draw 3 cards. 1 for Energy Channel, 2 for Rapid Response, and let's heal 3 characters for 1. And I think I'm going to hold off on attacking Ultron this round, but I will thwart for 3 and thwart for 3 and draw 5. So 1 threat, 2 more threat rather than a drone. 1 attack from Ultron, which we'll put on Hawkeye so we can get him back with Rapid Response. Actually, let's add 1 more threat and have Hawkeye do the thwarting instead of White Tiger. We'll save her for damage. So Hawkeye dies, Rapid Response back in. And then 1 encounter card, which will be Advanced Ultron Drone, which will take 2 damage from Hawkeye. Do I have enough damage to kill Ultron here? I think I do. Yeah, I think I do. I can add 1 to energy counter, deal 10 damage, but I have to take care of this first. Use Captain Marvel for that for 2 damage. And there's going to be a drone which Hawkeye kills. And then the energy channel for 10. 1 damage to Captain Marvel. Photonic Blast for 5. 1 damage to Captain Marvel. And then Captain America for 3, which retires him. White Tiger will end it. So, Mighty Avengers Captain Marvel did well against this. Drawing Hawkeye in the opening hand helps quite a lot. And we'll move on to the next scenario. move up in difficulty a little bit and take on Venom on expert difficulty and see how that goes. In my opinion, these scenarios, Ultron on expert, Venom on expert, are roughly equivalent to something like Rhino on Heroic 1 or Absorbing Man on Heroic 1, which is what we played in the Nova and Scarlet Witch spotlights. So let's try out the Venom scenario on expert difficulty and see how Captain Marvel does. Here we go. We've got the bell tower. I remind myself the mechanics of Venom. Tooth and Nail provides a major challenge. Right. Okay. Energy absorption is great. Could use the photonic blast to deal with Tooth and Nail. This hand seems fine. We'll draw a card with Carol Danvers. Flip. And we'll attack. Remove the toughness. And we'll go energy absorption for photonic blast. And that's going to give Venom a boost card. It says to put it on your identity, but that's really for a multiplayer game to keep track of when the boost cards go to Venom. In a solo game, we can just put them on Venom. And Photonic Blast should draw a card. Go 1, 2, 3, 4 for War Machine. And get out Quinjet as well. And we're just going to have War Machine keep his toughness to tank the attack. Does mean I can't clear Tooth and Nail anyway, so then we'll just draw 5. There's Mighty Avengers. So 1 threat, 1 attack from Venom, which will go on War Machine. Move toughness. And 2 encounter cards. Biting Retort. Venom activates against you. Each boost card gets +1 boost icon. That's going to be face tanked, unfortunately, for 4. And then we got Friends and Family. While in hero form, increase the resource cost of each event you play by 1. For the hero phase, we add 1 to Quinjet. Go 1, 2. Do I want a Crisis Interdiction here? It would get rid of the Tooth and Nail, but it would cost a lot of resources. I'll endure 1 more turn of Tooth and Nail. Well, I could get out Cosmic Flight, but only if I spend Mighty Avengers, and that really hurts. Cosmic Flight, Crisis Interdiction. I can't do it. We'll get out Mighty Avengers and play United We Stand for 1 resource. Normally free, but it costs 1 because of Friends and Family. So we'll heal for 1, and we'll thwart for 2, and draw 5. So we got 1 threat, we got 1 attack, which will face tank for 3. Then we got 2 encounter cards. Caught off guard, discard an upgrade or support. That's going to be Quinjet. Common Criminal, which gonna surge. Loose Ends. Search the encounter deck, discard pile, set aside area, and remove from game area for a copy of your obligation. Then reveal it. If you change to alter ego form, discard 1 random card from your hand. It's going to be Family Emergency. So I can either flip to alter ego form and discard a card. That is what I'll do. Do I choose and discard, or is it random? Discard one random card from your hand. Okay. So I can discard Crisis Interdiction to get rid of friends and family while I'm in alter ego form. Spend a strength resource, deal 3 damage. I will do that. So we just take care of these alter ego things while we're there. And I can draw a card or remove 3 threat from a side scheme. I think I'll remove the threat. Get rid of Tooth and Nail. I'll draw a card with Carol Danvers. Get out Energy Channel. I'm going to discard Energy Absorption for 3 tokens. I was going to play Alpha Flight Station, but Energy Absorption is so overkill for that. We'll flip back to... Actually, I think I want to just stay in alter ego. Thwart for 3. Draw 5. I don't see any reason to flip back. We can have Venom scheme for 1 round. Now, 1 threat, Venom schemes for 2 and resolve the when revealed. Remove 2 chime counters. If it's on quiet, which it is, take 1 damage. And we got 1 encounter card, which will be Enraged Symbiote. Okay, so let's heal. Draw a card. Play Alpha Flight Station. Discard Cosmic Flight and draw 2 cards. We'll flip and we'll go Falcon, Stinger, Rapid Response for White Tiger. Draw 2 cards. Photonic and Hawkeye for team training. So we got nearly a full setup now. Discard Kalu for Energy Channel. We'll go White Tiger. Go War Machine. And then we'll draw 5. So 1 threat. We'll face tank the attack because these allies have 1 extra HP, so I want to make use of them. Attack for 4. And then 1 encounter card, which will be Exhaustion. Into Unstable Sentience. 1 boost card. That surges into Enraged Symbiote. Okay. So, Captain America is going to cost 3. For Captain America. Get out a Quinjet as well. And we'll go White Tiger for 2 damage. War Machine for 3 damage. It's an extra boost card, and we'll leave Captain America's toughness in order to deal with those boost cards in the attack. And we'll just draw 5. So 1 threat, 1 attack. That'll go on the Captain America. You are stunned. Reveal this card. Attacks gain overkill. After Venom takes any amount of damage, remove 1 rage counter. Okay. Well, it's not piercing, so it doesn't go through the toughness. And then we got 1 encounter card. Another Now We're Angry. Well, we can deal both deal with both of those at the same time. Let's get rid of Captain Marvel's toughness. Add a Quinjet counter. Gonna discard a card with Alpha Flight Station. I want to find a lightning resource if possible. Okay. So we can go... What do I want to do here? So we can do something like this. I actually want to play Spider-Woman, I think. So let's just use the energy channel for 8 damage. Rage, boost card. Let's use White Tiger for 3. Put Venom into phase 2. It's going to be a boost card for the attack, and 2 boost cards for Venoms when revealed. Get out another energy channel. And the second attack from White Tiger takes care of the Now We're Angries. I'm debating whether I want to play Spider-Woman or get out a rapid response. Oh wait, I could not energy channel while Captain Marvel was stunned. What did I use her action on? Let me check. Oh, I actually did remove her stun. I just said I removed her toughness and I didn't remove the stun. Whoops. Anyway. Energy channel will be good for burst damage on this phase. A Confuse, he's steady, so a Confuse wouldn't really do anything here from Spider-Woman. And a rapid response would allow me to get War Machine back in. I think rapid response is a little bit more high value than Spider-Woman here. And I do want to keep Squirrel Girl actually to get rid of this toughness, I think. So that's what I'm going to do, and then I'll draw 4. So we got 1 threat, we got an attack from Venom, and this is going to have a lot of boost cards, and I might lose here. So actually I'm going to put the attack on Captain America just in case we get an overkill in here. So we got +2, that's 5 damage, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, we're all good. So Captain America will come back into play with the rapid response and we'll deal 1 damage to him. And then we got 2 encounter cards coming in. Assault, the villain attacks you. That will go on War Machine. And Master Plan. Lashing Out. Okay. So, do I want to play Squirrel Girl? Get 1 token on Quinjet. I could use that for Squirrel Girl. It's not very efficient. But then I could also play Photonic Blast. I think I will do that. We'll use Squirrel Girl, deal a damage. we'll Photonic Blast for 5, which is going to be a Retaliate and 2 boost cards. And draw a card. Let's go 1, 2, 3. So actually, we remove 5 from Lashing Out as well. Squirrel Girl, remove 1. And then we'll flip to Alter Ego and recover for 4. Draw a card. Good, it's an energy resource. Add 1 to energy channel. The problem is with flipping to Alter Ego here. He's got 2 boost cards. He's going to get 3 threats, so 1, 2. I guess I'll take the risk. It is a risk, though. Get rid of the helmet and draw 6. Well, actually, we'll get rid of the helmet and draw 2 with Alpha Flight Station. Hoping for... You know, actually, should have done that first. And then play Hawkeye instead of discarding, and we can go 2 threat removal. And then we'll draw 6. So if I survive, I think I win. 3 threat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 threat. So we do survive. And then we have take 1 damage. And then we got 1 encounter card. If it's an advance, I lose. Master plan. Okay, all good. So 15 damage we need. We can go energy absorption for 1, 2, 3. Cosmic Flight, Mighty Avengers 4, 5. We'll draw a card with Carol Danvers. United We Stand 1, 2, 3. Then we'll go 10 damage. When I'm on Alter Ego side, I should also discard a card, like to draw 2 cards. I don't know what I would discard though. Maybe Rapid Response. I mean, it doesn't matter because we're gonna end the game right here, right? So 10 damage. And then Captain America. And that will end the scenario. So with the full setup, the Mighty Avengers and the team training, Captain Marvel does quite well. One of the weaknesses of the hero is her defense. You can augment it with the helmet, but early on her defense tends to be pretty bad, so she does very well with a leadership deck with Ally Swarm. Now we're going to get into a game against a heroic quest, which is a game that I lost. It is Absorbing Man on Heroic 1 difficulty, and so we're using this game to establish where this deck's ceiling is at. And the ceiling isn't that high because Absorbing Man on Heroic 1 is the second easiest of the heroic quests if you exempt the tower defense, the wrecking crew, and the Green Goblin risky business. Rhino and Absorbing Man are the easiest heroic 1 quests, and Captain Marvel did clear the initial hurdle of Rhino on heroic 1, but I struggled on Absorbing Man on heroic 1 with this deck. So we're able to clear Ultron on Expert and Venom on Expert, and those are not easy Expert quests, but they are a little bit easier than a lot of the heroic 1 quests. So we'll see how Captain Marvel does here and what exactly went wrong. In these hero spotlights, I like to show at least 1 loss to illustrate where I believe and where anecdotally the hero's power ceiling is, so that, and I don't want to end the video with I know we've seen this quest a few times before, but I already had this recorded, so just provide commentary on it. But didn't want to end the video with 2 wins against Ultron and Venom, because players may look at that and say, oh, well, those are not easy expert level quests, and it's true, they're not. And therefore, Captain Marvel must be very powerful. Well, she is well above average, but I wouldn't say that she's very powerful. I'd rank her maybe about, well, I'd rank her the lowest of any of the heroes that I've looked at so far. Scarlet Witch is better than her. Nova is better than both of them. And so I would rank Captain Marvel like a B plus, A minus. If Scarlet Witch is an A and Nova's like an A plus, I would rank Captain Marvel like a B plus, maybe even a B. She may eventually land as a B. So she is able to do some things. She can do some things against expert level quests. She's not able to do a lot against heroic 1 level quests. So that is what to expect if you do end up putting a lot of effort into making a very strong Captain Marvel deck. And that Captain Marvel deck, if you choose not to play Mighty Avengers, I wouldn't blame you at all for that, because it's kind of an expensive deck to build. If you go just like a standard leadership Captain Marvel deck, I do think that Beast is a must-have card for that deck, because Beast offers the strategy where you play him, you can grab a resource card, which in Captain Marvel's case means energy absorption. We see there in the hand, generates 3 energy, and that is very strong with Beast. And then you can rapid response Beast back in, repeatedly grab energy absorptions, make the call, repeatedly grab energy absorptions. So Beast in Captain Marvel is roughly equivalent, in my opinion, to Spider-Man in the Web Warrior decks in terms of the level of power that he brings, which is a lot. And so I like Beast a lot in the standard Captain Marvel deck, and I would consider it a must-have card for a serious Captain Marvel leadership deck. Nonetheless, I still think this Mighty Avengers deck is stronger, even with the Beast recursion strategy being available. And you could run Beast in a Mighty Avengers deck, just as long as you have him on the table, you won't be able to take advantage of Mighty Avengers, so it's anti-synergistic. So here, struggling with the obligation coming out, or not the obligation, but the Nemesis coming out fairly early, and Captain Marvel's Nemesis is pretty powerful and hard to deal with. And no Mighty Avengers yet, but we're doing okay. We're doing some, getting a little bit of ramp up with Quinjet. We've got a lot of threat on the main scheme. Captain Marvel I would rank as second among the core set heroes. First being Iron Man. And she's pretty fun to play, because they did a good job of making her feel powerful to play in the design of the kit, with the energy channel, the photonic blasts, and the major issue with her, the biggest issue, I've talked repeatedly about how important resource generation is, and we'll say it again. The biggest issue is that Alpha Flight Station and her alter ego ability are her best resource generators, and you can only use those in alter ego. And there are a lot of scenarios in the game, especially on Heroic 1, where if you switch to alter ego, you're going to lose. So you don't do it unless you're in emergency mode, and you really only want to try that play like once a game. Like if Spider-Woman comes out, you can do it, but not against a boss that has steady or stalwart, which a lot of the more difficult ones do. And even if they're not more difficult ones, like if you play against Crossbones on expert difficulty and you flip to alter ego even one time, you're getting at least one card out of the experimental weapons deck, and sometimes 2, on Heroic 1, and that is a big problem. So here what's happening is Captain Marvel is struggling with multiple attacks. This is very common in Heroic 1 quests, and these multiple attacks forced me to use Captain America inefficiently and use him to block an attack when he only had 1 damage on him, and I had to do that because Captain Marvel would have died otherwise. We're able to use the energy channel to get the boss into phase 2, but we're at only 5 HP. The boss has ball and chain, 7 threat on the main quest, so it can't really flip to alter ego that well. I mean, I'm doing it, but it's a big risk because the scheme is at 7 threat, so if the boss gets a boost card for 2, I lose when he schemes. And he got a 1, so it's +4. Actually, he only needed a boost card of 1, so that's going to end this attempt on the scenario. And we'll try it one more time. Just got overwhelmed there with the multiple encounter cards. So Captain Marvel. There are heroes that do pretty well against. There are some heroes that do pretty well against a single encounter card, but really struggle against multiple encounter cards. This deck is fun, and it comes with the benefit of not needing to buy a hero pack, since pretty much everyone has the core set. Though I do strongly recommend the Beast Ally from the Cyclops hero pack if you are not going to play Mighty Avengers. And to play Mighty Avengers, you need multiple expansions, really. You need Mad Titan's Shadow, and you need Rise of Red Skull. We'll go over that in the deck spotlight and buying guide. So we're just looking for an environment there. And the attack will go on Kalu. We got White Tiger in hand, that's good. Also got Spider-Woman, that's a strong option. So the cutoff card gets rid of the energy channel. At least there weren't any counters on it. That can be devastating when you've got 4 counters on it. Then we got an attack from Absorbing Man. Don't want to take undefended attacks from Absorbing Man because of the environment abilities. And the encounter card's pretty mild. Not bad. Just a toughness. But the Absorbing Man is able to keep our board under control. I would say Captain Marvel's events are not very efficient. She has the potential to do burst damage with energy channel. It's not very efficient damage though, because it costs 5, and so the best way to play it is to use extra energy resources to charge up energy channel whenever possible, or to use it to end the game. But you don't often have extra energy resources, so it can take a while to charge up the energy channel if you're trying to play optimally. And we got a second attack here. Not going to be able to take too many more of those. Maybe one more. Can get out Mighty Avengers and Stinger to block an attack. And I'm thinking to myself whether I want to clear Hydra Patrol. I can, because Stinger has +1 thwart right now with Mighty Avengers. But if I clear Hydra Patrol, it was going to bring another enemy into play, and that was just going to be an enemy that was going to damage me, so I chose not to clear it right now and instead have Stinger take the toughness off of Absorbing Man. So we got a Hydra Regular with Insight 1 and an Omnimorph Duplication, which adds a toughness again and heals him for 1. Get out War Machine. Captain Marvel to take out the Hydra Regular. War Machine, Absorbing Man's toughness. Now I reconsider and decide I'll have War Machine block the Absorbing Man attack. If there are 5 or more delay counters, there are, so, oh no, there's 4. Or maybe there should have been 5. I may have missed an indirect damage there. The threat's starting to build up, so we're gonna have to clear Hydra Patrol, take the minion. Got a second attack again, just whittling down Captain Marvel's health. And just can't bring enough resources to bear to get a lot of allies out in order to deal with what the boss is trying to do. And if I switch to Alter Ego, well, I can't right now because the main scheme is at too high a threat. But you really feel the resource restrictions when you're playing on Heroic 1. It really shines a spotlight on what heroes can or can't do based on the amount of resources that they can generate. So use Falcon to take on one of the Hydra regulars and draw 5. We've got a modest setup getting started with the Quinjet, building up its tokens with a couple of allies on the table. Have to use them inefficiently though because I'm at kind of low health. New environment and a surge. Same thing. And a random discard. Alpha Flight Station, Exhaust Your Identity, Hydra Soldier. Well, I could use Quinjet for a Hawkeye here. Not really any point though, because I don't have much else in my hand that I want to play. Get a second Quinjet out. And I'd like to switch to Alter Ego here, but with multiple enemies on the table. Maybe I still should have. Maybe I should have thwarted for 5 and then switched to Alter Ego. I think I probably should have at this point. Because otherwise I keep having to use my allies so inefficiently. That is not a winning formula. Yeah, I think that was probably a mistake in my play. Because I'm not going to be able to generate resources if I don't switch to Alter Ego. So I have to take the opportunities when I can. And here the boss is able to limit what I can do by using Avalanche and an additional random discard. So now I'm in a spot where I really don't have the option of thwarting for a lot because Hawkeye was used inefficiently. So with the benefit of hindsight, I think I played this incorrectly and should have switched to Alter Ego earlier when I had 2 allies on the table. I could have even switched here and probably been okay. And likely should have done so. Because otherwise, once again, an ally gets used inefficiently. And that's part of the reason why I'm feeling so constrained resource-wise. But there's the Nemesis, and that's gonna end this attempt. As I only have 3 health. So I played this poorly. I could have gotten farther. Could I have gotten far enough to defeat this boss? Well, on Heroic 1 difficulty, it is absolutely necessary to generate enough resources so that you can bring your deck to bear against what the boss is trying to do. He's going to be, all the bosses generate a lot of resource or generate a lot of minions or attachments on Heroic 1 because they get 2 encounter cards instead of 1. So you have to bring your deck's resources to bear, which means more than just the standard 5 hand size and maybe like 1 resource generator. And for Captain Marvel, that means flipping to Alter Ego. And the Mighty Avengers helps her to do that because it means your allies thwart for more than they would ordinarily. And that gives you more opportunities to flip to Alter Ego than you get with the standard hero deck or the standard leadership deck. So even with Beast Recursion, that's why Mighty Avengers is good, is the increased thwarting capability that it gives allows you to flip to Alter Ego, and flipping to Alter Ego allows you the resource generation that you need. I played this particular attempt poorly. I could have at least gotten to phase 3 as I did in the first attempt. I don't know that I could have gotten a victory because it requires very careful management, being required to flip repeatedly to Alter Ego to deal with what the boss wants to do. And so, would it be enough to defeat this boss? Maybe. She's probably capable of it, and she does have like a rushdown strategy available for Ronin, so she can do some cool things. But overall, I would rank this hero maybe like a B plus or an A minus tier hero, and the least of the 3 that I've done a hero spotlight on so far. So next video we'll do a deck analysis and we'll do a buying guide, and thank you for watching.